continue to kind of unsort things with Deshaun Watson and his shoulder. This is Andrew Siciliano on the Rich Eisen show talking about what it means to be medically cleared to play.
Here's what medically cleared to play means in NFL terms. It means you're not going to make the injury worse if you go out there. And liability-wise, we feel comfortable as an organization that cares about A, our investment, but B, your health as well. Equal. We care about them equal. We feel comfortable telling you that you can play football today. All right? That's what cleared to play means. Liability. Like, hey, doctor, do I still need to use the crutches? Well, it depends how you feel. Like, you can't hurt it anymore, but really it depends how you feel. That's what cleared to play means. That doesn't mean the guy could throw, and that doesn't mean he doesn't have shooting pain in his shoulder. I don't know if either are true, but cleared to play means we feel comfortable enough morally and business-wise to tell you that it's okay for you to play football today. Doesn't mean that he can play it well. Doesn't mean it doesn't come at great pain. And it doesn't mean that he could be effective. But it means morally and investment-wise, we feel comfortable checking the boxes and saying you're okay. That's what it means. The guy said he couldn't throw. Okay? So this narrative, he refused to play, let's get rid of that, please, because that's unfair for any player. I also don't like the pain tolerance issue. I've had coaches tell me, off air, I never like to use the phrase pain tolerance.
With that, let's welcome in Brad Ward from the Orange and Brown Report, All Eyes on Cleveland podcast. And let's talk a little bit about the whole Deshaun Watson not playing against the Ravens one last time, Brad. Part of the problem is we have no idea what the injury to the shoulder is. That is where the problem lies. They never said what it was.
Yeah, they gave us shoulder contusion, right, which is pretty broad. And then Evan Washburn elaborated a little bit, right, in the broadcast that he had some fluid in his rotator cuff, right? So I think that, what Andrew Siciliano is saying there is actually pretty important. Medically cleared to play tells us that there's no structural damage, I think, right? And then we've heard some reports that that's the fact too. So we know there's no structural damage because if there was, then he wouldn't have been medically cleared to play because if he takes a big hit, he's going to hurt it worse. So if they feel like he can go out there and play and not injure it further, then I think it's safe to say that, the dreaded AC joint and all of the stuff that like Derek Carr was going through and some of that stuff, it seems to be okay. And it's really probably a bruise that has a lot of inflammation and has some fluid in his rotator cuff, which made it hard for him to, drive the ball down the field or throw the ball more than 10 yards. So, I think that's the extent of it, right? Now, how fast does that heal? That's going to be the ultimate question here, right? The handling of this whole thing, I have more of an issue with, Dave, of the way that it was handled after he elected to go out. I have no issue with him not playing, right? I actually think it's probably the smart decision in the long term, especially with the bye week on the back end. But, the not having – for a quarterback who threw the ball, 5 times throughout the week, right, game week, and then twice before the game, you don't have a contingency plan in place. You don't have a second game plan for DTR in place. You just run him out there and have him run the same game plan you were going to run with Deshaun Watson, which was very pass heavy. And secondly, Dave, why was it so pass heavy for a quarterback with a bad shoulder? So both of those are puzzling to me. And it almost feels, once again, big Stefanski supporter, but has me scratching my head here on why these guys that are so prepared and so attention to detail at all times don't have a plan B in place for a guy that threw 4 passes all week long.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I have been labeled a Kevin Stefanski apologist by a number of our viewers. So I don't get it.